Hi, thanks for taking the time to watch this short video. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about what me and my team can do and how we can help you improve your business. Okay, so we look at three particular areas when it comes to working with you. First of all, we'll look at your website. Then we'll look at your email. Then we'll look at your offline methods, and that's, for example, direct mail, advertising, that kind of thing. Okay, starting with your website. We have a couple of ways we can look at it. First of all, we look at your current website and we see where people are coming in and out of your current website. That means setting up something called Google Analytics or a similar analytics package. And what that'll do is it'll show us where customers come in and where customers leave your website. So there might be a particular page that most of your customers come in via, which you don't know about, and there might be a particular page that most of your customers get to and think this isn't relevant to me, and they click back or they close your page down. So it's important to use that. Excuse me. So you can set that up now. You just go to Google, type in Google Analytics, and it'll tell you step by step how to do it. It's all free. It's really useful information. Okay. So we do that. We'd also then start testing using Google Optimizer or another optimizer package, testing new pages to see what would happen. So we might say, like, let's try and put the image down here. Let's put the button which says do something up to the top right. Now we don't know what's going to work because it's different for each website, but we just test it and we see what makes a better conversion for the customer coming in. So that's one way of optimizing your current website. We also recommend that you look at a couple of lead generation websites. Now we're not talking about a £2,000 kind of flashy new website you need to design. We're talking about something that costs you between £20 and £30 to get a template and will take you about 4 or 5 hours to write, sort of 4 or 5 pages on it. And it's specifically to convert people who are looking for a specific product into customers. So let's take an example of a shoe shop. So if you've got a shoe shop, let's say George and Margaret have got a shoe shop on the high street, gmshoes.co.uk. All right. If you went to GM Shoes, then you'd see there'd be a range of sandals, there'd be dress shoes, there'd be women's shoes, men's shoes, children's shoes. If you went on the website, if a customer went on a website and they were looking on Google for trainers, and they saw two adverts, one which said gmshoes.co.uk, wide range of all kinds of shoes, including trainers, gmshoes.co.uk, and underneath it said the trainer store. Specifically dealing with trainers, we give you all the information you require, thetrainerstore.co.uk. Which one is the person looking for trainers most likely to click on? Well, click the second one, because that's the one that's more specific to their inquiry. Now what we can do, something quite clever, we can either buy the domain, thetrainerstore.co.uk, so buy that website address, and then just make when people, we call pointing it to part of your own site, so when someone clicks on it, it takes them to a section of your own site. Or we can take that domain, which, I mean, don't bear in mind these domains will be £3 a year. That's all it costs you, so £6 just to get it off the ground. You could buy that domain, and we could put sort of 4 or 5 pages on there about trainers. The idea being at the bottom of each page it says, download your trainer guide. Now that then makes them become a potential customer. Once we've got their email address, we very gently follow up with them, ensuring that they get the right information to buy the right trainer for them. Does that make sense? So those are the two ways we can improve your current website. In terms of email, a lot of people come to us and they say they want to do an email campaign. And we say, well, how many do you want to send out? Well, we want to send out 10,000 emails. Where are the email addresses? They say that we're going to rent them. That's fine. You can rent your email addresses. But bear in mind, you're going to get about a 0.5% response rate on your emails. So if you send out, 200 emails, one person is going to click on the link and do something that you want them to do. If that is then, let's say, for a sale for a Rolls Royce, well, fair enough, you've made your money back. But most people are selling reasonably low ticket items, so often it doesn't make commercial sense to send out to a rented list. It's better to build your own. But in the interim, you can send out to rented lists and I'll help you buy them, help you seed them, help you sort them. It's better to set your own list generation function up on your website, which is what we can do. I talked about, downloading the free, the button which said download the free trainer guide. That builds your list. Once you build your own list, you're talking between 8 and 10% response. So if you're talking about a difference between 10% response and 0.5% response, that means that if you send the same number of emails, 20 times more sales from your own list than from a rented list. And bear in mind, from your own list, you're not paying each time you use them. Does that make sense? So that's why we say build your own list. The third part we look at is your offline methods. Now your offline methods are anything from direct mail, yellow pages, billboard advertising, anything you're doing at the moment that doesn't include the internet. Now those work well And what we suggest is that you integrate it with your website, but you could create a separate domain just for a direct mail piece. So for example, let's say you're doing a direct mail piece on sandals for summer. You send it out in May to all the ladies on your list, or even just any list, who are interested in sandals. Then rather than send out, we sell sandals, here's all about your sandals, here's some pictures of sandals, go to our website, gnshoes.co.uk/sandals, then you could create a domain for that called ilovesandals.co.uk, put it in your website, in your direct mail piece. Then when the person's reading it, they look at the website, ilovesandals.co.uk. To them, it seems a much more specific website about sandals, much more likely to go there. So, and again, that domain could either point to a part on your own website or its own self-contained website. It doesn't make a difference. We're not talking about huge amounts of money to create a new website. It's less than 100 quid and you'll have it up and running. Okay, so that's how we integrate it all together. So the real benefits for you are that we're going to be able to track what your customer's doing at the moment. All right, and that's vitally important, particularly when you talk about direct mail. If you send out direct mail pieces, then you don't know which customers come from direct mail to your current website, unless you have a domain which the only way someone can get to that domain is by having a direct mail piece in front of them. Then you just look at that domain and see how many people have typed that into Google, how many people have come to my website via that domain. You can see how effective your direct mail campaign is. So we track, first of all. Then we test, and the way we test is we test new ideas and just different ways of structuring the page. We might try a different domain. I say, bear in mind, domains are 6 quid for 2 years, .co.uk. So you can buy as many as you want. Well, within reason, you buy as many as you want, and you just test them. So you might say, ilovesandals.co.uk, ilovesummersandals.co.uk might work better than ilovesandals. Okay, so you're tracking, you're testing, and then you get your traffic. Once you've got a good conversion, then you can go and buy traffic. Buying traffic is not difficult. You go to Google AdWords. I can set it up for you, no problems. You can set it up yourself. Take you a bit longer to learn how it all works, but you can set it up, and within about 10 minutes you can have 100 people an hour come to your website if you've got enough money to pay for those people. So getting the traffic is the easiest bit, and don't let anyone try and fool you if they say otherwise. And then what we look at is automating the whole thing. So we talk about getting all that tracking, testing, and traffic, and we automate everything so that you don't have to worry about it. All you get is you get a steady stream of customers or leads coming in every month. And the beauty of this is, if you're using something like Google AdWords, you can stop it or pause it at any point in time. So if you've got enough leads coming in this month, enough work on, you pause it. You don't pay any more money, and then you just wait until you want more leads, and you unpause it, and more leads will come in. Okay? So the whole thing might take something like 3 or 4 days to get something like that off the ground. Depends how much you do and how much you want us to do. We can do everything for you. You might be talking a week for us to do everything for you. Probably cheaper for you to do it yourself. But if you do it completely yourself, then obviously you have to learn. You might take 6 weeks, 8 weeks to learn how to do it. So you're looking at striking a happy medium. That's really about it. That kind of summarizes everything we do and what we can do for you. What I suggest, if you look up, you'll find there is a link to our weekly marketing tips. If you want to subscribe to those, I'll send you every week. Everything I've talked about today, every week is split up into a little small action you can do that week that will build towards improving your website. If you want results a little bit quicker, if you look down, you should see there's a contact form. Now that what I'll do is I'll come to me or one of my team and we'll get in touch with you and we'll talk to you about how we can possibly help. Don't worry, we're not trying to sell to you. At the end of the day, if we can give you some advice that you will go off and follow, then you're more likely to come back to us in the future and use us, because you trust us. So thanks for listening to me. Hopefully we'll speak soon. If you've got any questions or anything that you're not sure about, then just, as I say, look down there, drop me a quick email or get in touch and I'll reply to you as quickly as I possibly can. Speak to you soon.